In 1993, one of our most popular series on Watersports World was a Speed Ski Challenge. The cocktail of a highly tuned athlete and a highly tuned powerboat charging around at up to 100 miles per hour proved irresistible. So this year, we've renewed the challenge, and the race is on to find the fastest water skiers in the UK. And what better place to start the action than the mirror flat racing surface at Lochearnhead? It's made for speed. And what better boat to pick up a challenge than Barry Larson's awesome Hallett inboard, an 1100 horsepower, towing one of the world's fastest men on a plank, Darren Kirkland. But that's Formula 1. Our action starts with Formula 2. That's engines up to 3 litres, speeds around 80 miles per hour, and plenty of need for those helmets. And with the safety network in place, it was time to speak with Formula 2 favourites Nick Butler from England and Gary Doherty from Scotland. Morning, Butler. It's a brand new season and happy hunting ground for you here.
Yeah, we always do pretty well. I've done well for the last 3 years in Scotland. We did well last year, so hopefully we can improve this year.
I've been skiing a well recently, and I got a new ski, and things are going better than they were at this time last year anyway. But in saying that, the competition's a lot stronger this year. A few of the boys have got, new rigs and new gear, and they've been training all winter. A few of the boys have been to Australia. So we'll just need to wait and see if it's all going to come off.
Well, it's possible Doherty might regret that last statement. Roger Blowers is the man with a foot on his throttle, a fearless competitor who's long since forgotten the signal to slow down. Another contender for F2 honours this year is Chris Stockley. The highly rated youngster starts amongst the favourites. So it was 16 skiers on the start line when the second flag went down, and around 4,000 horsepower that jettisoned them into orbit and around the 2.5 mile circuit at 80 miles per hour. But it was a disaster for the favourite. Butler missed his pull, and number 4 had to return to pick him up. Not that the rest were too worried about that. Doherty, Fleming, Connick, McCarthy and Stockley made a break for it, and battle commenced. Approaching the end of the first lap, however, it was Doherty who had made the break. Blauer's predictions were certainly looking fruitful, so all the skier had to do was hang on. Mind you, Stockley 97 and Connick 70, the Tetsuko boat, were right behind. And Butler, furious with himself for missing the start, was the fastest on the course and asking for more. And he needed every mile per hour he could muster. Although Stockley had gone with a broken engine, both Connick and Lush ahead of him looked in ominous form, in spite of the obstacle course. But the obstacle in everyone's way up front refused to budge. Doherty at the end of lap 3 was buzzing and 200 yards clear. Behind him, however, a new pretender had emerged in the shape of Jonathan Fleming. The Hunstanton skier was looking to start the 1994 Speed Ski Challenge the way he finished the 1993, with a win. Behind him, with Stockley out the way, Connick was pulling away from Lush, who was becoming under increasing pressure to relinquish his 4th place to Makara, number 88. But they're all in a queue to nowhere. Into the last lap, Doherty was averaging 70 miles per hour on the tight circuit. That's a good 80 miles per hour down the straight. And although Butler was doing much the same, he was still only 8th, and had learned you don't give away 3 minutes in this sort of company. And so it was Doherty who sped almost casually down the finish straight after 12 laps. The odd request for more speed, surely just for the benefit of the cameras. Behind him, Fleming had closed to within 16 seconds. This is a game where the closer to the winner you are, the more points you get, so the pressure stayed on. Doherty it was then who took the first 1,000 points of 1994 in the Speed Ski Challenge, with a power display perfectly executed and never seriously threatened. Although Fleming on 991.4 points got pretty close at the end. So it was a delighted Doherty taking a well-earned breather, who summed up the race.
Yeah, delighted, really delighted. Didn't think I'd win. I thought, I was going to just keep up with the front runners, but it just turned out that we were far ahead of him. I thought, right, so I'll stay out there.
I've got to say, it looked easy, was it?
I've had harder, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Our first scoreboard of the Speedski 94 then showing just how close Fleming had come to causing an upset, with Weymouth's Richard Connick impressive in his comeback year. And note, no place in the top 3 for the favourite. Well, this Speedski is fast-moving start.